Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. Have you ever noticed how your mood can be instantly lifted just by being around someone who's genuinely happy? It's not your imagination. Now, imagine that effect amplified over decades of shared life. In the quiet autumn of our years, after careers settle and kids have their own lives, the social world often shrinks. For many, a long-term partner becomes the sun in their social solar system. It's here that a fascinating phenomenon unfolds, the happiness echo. This isn't just about sharing a laugh. It's a deep, resonant connection where one person's contentment literally becomes a source of the other's. Today, we're diving deep into the psychology and the surprising biology behind the happiness echo, and how we can all learn to amplify this positive emotional resonance in our own lives. As we journey through life with a partner, our experiences, memories, and daily routines become woven together into a single, complex tapestry. This is especially true in later life. Psychologists have a couple of theories to explain this deep connection. First, there's the theory of linked lives. This idea suggests our lives are not isolated islands. A major event for one person, like retirement or picking up a new hobby, sends ripples across the relationship. It's not just his retirement, it's our retirement. These are shared experiences that shape a couple's joint story. Then there's family systems theory, which views a couple as a single emotional unit. Think of it like a seesaw. One person's emotional state directly affects the other. A husband's joy over a perfectly ripe tomato from his garden can subtly lift his wife's mood. That deep intertwining sets the perfect stage for the happiness echo, creating a space where emotions are no longer just individual experiences, but shared commodities. The path of a long-term relationship is rarely a straight line towards bliss. In fact, research consistently shows that marital satisfaction follows a distinct U-shaped curve. It typically starts high in that honeymoon phase, then takes a dip during the stressful middle years of building careers and raising children. But for many couples, something wonderful happens in later life. Satisfaction swings back up, sometimes even higher than before. Why this rebound? Several factors are at play. The so-called empty nest allows couples to reconnect as individuals, not just as parents. Retirement frees up enormous amounts of time and mental energy that can be reinvested in the relationship. Plus, as we age, we generally get better at managing our emotions. This emotional maturity leads to a greater appreciation for a partner and a shared desire to make the most of the time they have left. This late-life renaissance in marriage provides the fertile ground where the happiness echo can truly flourish. At the very heart of the happiness echo is a process called emotional contagion. This is the automatic, almost primal, spread of feelings from one person to another. It's not a conscious choice. It's the reason a baby's giggle can make a whole room smile, or why you might feel a twinge of sadness when a friend is crying, even if you don't know why. For older couples who spend a lot of time together, this effect can be incredibly potent. A wife's cheerful humming as she waters her plants can subtly boost her husband's mood as he reads the paper nearby. On the flip side, his frustration over a misplaced set of keys can cast a small shadow over her morning. Research shows both positive and negative emotions are contagious. The key to the happiness echo is focusing on and cultivating the spread of positive ones. But it's not just about automatically catching feelings. Empathy adds a crucial layer of depth. While emotional contagion is automatic, empathy is the ability to consciously understand and share someone's feelings. It's about appreciating the why behind the emotion. For example, a husband might feel a rush of happiness when his wife excitedly tells him about a planned trip to see the grandkids. That's not just him catching her excitement, it's empathy. He understands her love for her family and her anticipation, and that understanding deepens his own positive feeling. Empathy transforms a fleeting shared feeling into a genuine moment of connection. It's the difference between hearing a melody and understanding the song. This happiness echo isn't just a psychological idea. It's physically real, rooted in the very wiring of our brains. The neurobiology here is like a beautiful duet. A key player in this duet is a special type of brain cell called a mirror neuron. Discovered in the 1990s, these neurons fire both when we perform an action and when we see someone else perform that same action. You see someone pick up a cup, and the part of your brain for picking up a cup activates. But their role goes beyond actions. They are fundamental to empathy and emotional contagion. When you see your partner smile, your brain's mirror neurons for smiling fire, which can then trigger the actual emotion of happiness in your own brain. Our brains are literally hardwired to reflect the emotions of those we are close to. After decades together, couples become masters at reading each other's tiniest facial cues and shifts in tone, making this neural mirroring incredibly efficient. Then there are the chemicals. You've probably heard of oxytocin, often called the cuddle hormone or bonding hormone. Along with a similar hormone called vasopressin, it creates a powerful neurochemical cocktail that strengthens the bond between partners. Oxytocin is released during positive social contact, like hugging or even just a warm conversation. It boosts feelings of trust and generosity. In the context of the happiness echo, if a wife shares a happy memory, the release of oxytocin in her husband's brain can amplify his own feelings of warmth and affection, deepening the shared positive moment. Over a long relationship, the consistent release of these hormones solidifies the neural pathways of connection, making the happiness echo a more regular and robust phenomenon. It gets even more amazing. The connection can manifest as physiological synchrony. This means partners' bodies can actually sync up. Studies show that when couples have positive interactions, their heart rates, breathing patterns, and even hormone levels can fall into alignment. It's not magic, it's a tangible reflection of their deep emotional engagement. When two people are truly focused on each other, their bodies begin to mirror each other's state of arousal or relaxation. This creates a powerful feedback loop. A shared state of calm makes it easier for positive emotions to flow, and the experience of shared joy, in turn, leads to greater physiological synchrony. Their hearts are literally beating in time. Several overarching psychological theories help explain why this all becomes so important in our later years. One of the most powerful is the socio-emotional selectivity theory. Developed by psychologist Laura Carstensen, it proposes that as our perception of time changes, our goals shift. When we're young and the future feels endless, we focus on knowledge-based goals, new skills, a bigger social network, planning for the future. But as we age and realize time is finite, we prioritize emotionally meaningful goals, like savoring positive experiences and deepening our closest relationships. This theory explains why older adults aren't just becoming more passive. They are wisely choosing to invest their time and energy where it counts most emotionally. Often, in their primary partnership, they actively prune their social circles to focus on people who bring them joy, creating the perfect environment for the happiness echo to thrive. Another fascinating idea is capitalization theory. This is all about what happens when you share good news. The theory suggests that when you tell someone good news and they respond in an active, constructive way, with genuine enthusiasm and interest, the positive impact of the original event is amplified. Your joy literally gets bigger. For a couple, this is a core ingredient of the happiness echo. When a husband is excited about a small victory in the garden and his wife responds with real encouragement, his initial joy is magnified and their bond is strengthened. Consistently celebrating each other's successes, no matter how small, creates a culture of positivity that turns up the volume on the happiness echo. Finally, there's a statistical model that gives us hard data on this. It's called the Actor-Partner Interdependence Model, or APIM. It lets researchers separate how your own traits affect your happiness. That's the actor effect, from how your partner's traits affect your happiness, the partner effect. Studies using this model consistently find a significant partner effect. One recent study, for example, found that for every 1-point increase in a partner's life satisfaction, an individual's own satisfaction increased by about 0.3 points. That's concrete, statistical evidence for the happiness echo. Of course, the happiness echo isn't always simple. Its strength is shaped by several factors. The very thing that amplifies shared joy, high marital satisfaction, can be a double-edged sword. Studies show that couples who are highly satisfied with their marriage are also more likely to catch each other's distress. Their deep empathy and sense of we-ness makes it harder to maintain emotional distance when a partner is suffering. A wife who is deeply happy in her marriage might experience significant personal distress when her husband is dealing with a chronic illness. This highlights the need for self-care and emotional regulation, even in the most loving relationships. There may also be some gender differences in this emotional exchange. Some studies suggest women are more prone to emotional contagion, especially for negative emotions, possibly due to social conditioning to be more attuned to others' needs. One study found a wife's distress was more dependent on her perception of her husband's suffering than the other way around. But these are just general trends, with a lot of individual variation. A person's own personality and the specific dynamics of the relationship play a huge role. Finally, health is a major factor in later life. When one or both partners are dealing with chronic illness, the stress can dampen the happiness echo. Caregiving, in particular, can be physically and emotionally draining. One study found that the link between partners' happiness was weakest when one person was the sole caregiver for the other. The immense demands of caregiving can sometimes create an emotional distance that mutes the echo. This shows just how vital it is to support caregivers so they can maintain that positive connection. The good news is that the happiness echo is not just something you hope for. It's something you can actively cultivate. The foundation is built on a steady diet of small, positive interactions. Sharing a laugh is one of the quickest ways to connect. Physical affection, like holding hands or a simple hug, releases that bonding hormone oxytocin. And regularly expressing gratitude and appreciation for your partner creates a powerful, self-reinforcing cycle of positivity. Mindfulness can also be a powerful tool. By paying attention to the present moment without judgment, you can become more aware of your own emotions and better at reading your partner's subtle cues. This helps with emotional regulation, allowing you to support a suffering partner without being completely overwhelmed yourself. For couples who want to strengthen their bond, therapies like emotionally focused therapy or the Gottman method offer proven strategies for building a more secure and loving emotional connection. The happiness echo is a beautiful testament to the power of love in later life. It reminds us that our well-being is not an isolated journey, but a social one, shaped by the connections we hold most dear. In the intimacy of a long-term partnership, one person's joy can truly become the joy of both, creating a symphony of shared contentment that can uplift and sustain us through the final chapters of our lives. It's a reminder that our golden years can be a time of vibrant, shared, and echoing happiness.